There's a space where everything feels safe, predictable, and easy. In this space, life moves at a steady pace, without surprises or challenges that force you to stretch beyond what you already know. This is your comfort zone, a familiar world where risk is minimal and stress is low. It is a place of rest, but also a place where dreams slowly fade and growth becomes stagnant. The truth is, while comfort offers security, it also builds invisible walls around your potential, keeping you from becoming the person you are truly meant to be. The moment you step beyond the borders of comfort, something incredible happens. You awaken the parts of yourself that have been waiting to be challenged. You ignite a spark of curiosity, courage, and strength that you never knew existed. Growth does not happen in the warmth of the familiar. It happens in the space where uncertainty and discomfort meet. This is the space where you learn, where you evolve, and where you thrive. But why is it so difficult to leave the comfort zone? Why does fear grip us when we think about change? The answer lies in the way our minds are wired. Our brains are designed to protect us from harm, and anything unknown is often perceived as a threat. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. These emotions create resistance, convincing us to stay where things feel safe. The irony is that the very fear that holds us back is also the key to our greatest transformation. Imagine a bird sitting on the edge of a branch. It has two choices: remain on the branch, never knowing what lies beyond, or spread its wings and take flight. The first choice guarantees safety, but also guarantees limitation. The second choice is terrifying, but opens a door to the vast sky, endless possibilities, and a new reality beyond imagination. Like the bird, you, too, have a choice: to remain where you are or to take that leap towards something greater. Leaving your comfort zone is not about recklessly throwing yourself into the unknown. It is about expanding your boundaries, little by little, until what once felt impossible becomes part of your new reality. Every great achievement, every inspiring success story, every personal transformation begins with a single step beyond what feels comfortable. Growth is a journey, and it starts with a decision to embrace the unfamiliar. So are you ready? Are you ready to leave behind the limitations of your comfort zone and step into the life that's waiting for you? If so, let this book be your companion. Let it inspire you, challenge you, and guide you toward a future where you are no longer held back by fear, but propelled forward by possibility. The journey begins now. The only question left is, are you willing to take the first step? This book, Leave Your Comfort Zone Now: How to Grow, Thrive, and Succeed, written and published by great listeners, Audiobook. Chapter 1. Recognizing Your Comfort Zone. Everyone has a comfort zone, a psychological space where things feel familiar, easy, and safe. It is a place where routines dictate our lives, where risks are minimal, and where uncertainty rarely intrudes. At first glance, this might seem like the ideal way to live, free from fear, struggle, or discomfort. But what many don't realize is that this very space, which appears to provide security, is also the greatest barrier to personal growth. When you stay within the limits of comfort for too long, you unknowingly lock yourself in a pattern of stagnation. What once felt like safety begins to resemble a cage. Identifying what holds you back is the first step in breaking free. Often, the biggest obstacles are not external but internal. They are the fears, doubts, and excuses that whisper convincing reasons to stay put. You tell yourself that you're not ready yet, that you lack the skills, or that the timing isn't right. The problem is that there will never be a perfect time, nor will you ever feel fully prepared. The truth is, growth doesn't wait for permission. It demands action, even when you feel uncertain. One of the trickiest things about the comfort zone is that it disguises itself as contentment. You may not even realize you're stuck. Life seems fine. Nothing is particularly wrong, but nothing is particularly exciting either. Days blur into one another, each one a carbon copy of the last. There's a quiet voice inside you that wonders if there's more to life, but you silence it with distractions, convincing yourself that you're satisfied. The signs are subtle, but they are there. You avoid new challenges because they make you uncomfortable. You stick to routines, even when they no longer inspire you. You make excuses to avoid stepping into the unknown. Fear plays a powerful role in keeping you inside the comfort zone, but it rarely presents itself as outright terror. Instead, It masquerades as logic, as practicality, as the voice of reason telling you that stepping out isn't worth the risk. It tells you that failure will be too painful, that rejection will hurt too much, that success is reserved for others, not for you. Fear makes the unknown seem dangerous when, in reality, it is the path to transformation. The more you listen to fear, the stronger it becomes, wrapping you tighter in the illusion of comfort. Breaking free is not easy, but it is always worth the effort. The moment you push beyond the familiar, you unlock a version of yourself that you never knew existed. Every challenge you face, every new experience you embrace, and every fear you overcome adds to your strength and resilience. The discomfort you feel in the beginning is temporary, but the rewards last a lifetime. Growth happens when you are willing to take risks, to embrace uncertainty, and to believe in yourself, even when the path ahead is unclear. You have a choice. You can continue living within the boundaries of comfort, settling for a life that is predictable but unremarkable. Or you can take the first step towards something greater. The journey will not always be smooth, and there will be moments when you question whether it's worth it. But the truth is, the greatest experiences, the most fulfilling successes, and the deepest sense of self-discovery all exist outside of comfort. Recognizing your comfort zone is the beginning of change. The real question is, are you ready to step beyond it? Chapter 2, The Science of Personal Growth. Personal growth is not just a vague motivational concept. It is deeply rooted in science. Every time we step beyond our comfort zone, our brain, mindset, and resilience undergo profound transformations. Growth is not accidental. It is a deliberate process shaped by how we respond to discomfort, challenges, and uncertainty. Understanding the mechanisms behind personal growth will empower you to embrace discomfort, break limiting beliefs, and expand your potential in ways you never imagined. The human brain is an extraordinary organ capable of remarkable adaptability. This ability, known as neuroplasticity, allows the brain to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. When you challenge yourself with something unfamiliar, whether it's learning a new skill, speaking in public, or changing careers, your brain rewires itself to accommodate the new experience. Imagine walking through a dense forest where no path exists. The first time, it feels impossible. The second time, you recognize certain landmarks. The more you walk, the clearer and more navigable the path becomes. This is exactly how your brain works. Every time you push yourself into an unfamiliar situation, you carve new neural pathways, making future challenges easier to overcome. Avoiding discomfort, on the other hand, does the opposite. If you always stay within familiar patterns, your brain strengthens those pathways, making it harder to break out of them. This is why stepping outside your comfort zone, even in small ways, is crucial for long-term success. Mindset is a foundation of personal growth. The way you perceive challenges determines whether you embrace them or shy away from them. Psychologist Carol Dweck's research on fixed and growth mindsets explains why some people thrive under pressure while others retreat. A fixed mindset believes that intelligence, talent, and abilities are static. People with this mindset tend to avoid challenges, fearing failure and judgment. They see effort as a sign of weakness rather than growth. If you ever told yourself, "I'm just not good at this," you might be stuck in a fixed mindset without realizing it. A growth mindset, however, sees challenges as opportunities to learn and develop. People with this mindset understand that abilities can be cultivated through effort, persistence, and the right strategies. They don't fear failure. Instead, they see it as a stepping stone to success. If you've ever faced a setback and thought, "What can I learn from this?" you're already shifting toward a growth mindset. By actively working on your mindset, you unlock the ability to take risks, embrace failure, and continuously evolve. The best way to cultivate a growth mindset is to reframe discomfort as a necessary ingredient for success rather than something to be feared. Most people assume that growth requires dramatic, life-altering changes. In reality, the most effective way to grow is by consistently introducing small, manageable discomforts into your daily life. These small steps create a ripple effect that leads to major breakthroughs over time. Think about athletes who train their bodies to endure higher levels of stress. They don't start by lifting the heaviest weights or running the longest distances. They begin with incremental increases, gradually challenging their limits until they achieve extraordinary results. The same principle applies to personal growth. Let's say you have social anxiety and struggle with meeting new people. Instead of forcing yourself into overwhelming situations, you can start small. Make eye contact with a stranger, exchange pleasantries with a cashier, or initiate a short conversation at work. Over time, these small actions build confidence, making larger challenges less intimidating. Each time you intentionally expose yourself to discomfort, you prove to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. This builds resilience, confidence, and adaptability, key ingredients for long-term success. One of the biggest misconceptions about success is that it comes from a place of stability and comfort. Society often glorifies the idea of having it all figured out. But the truth is, every successful person has gone through discomfort, uncertainty, and failure to get where they are. We are conditioned to believe that comfort equals happiness. But in reality, too much comfort leads to stagnation. Comfort zones are like warm, cozy rooms. They feel safe, but they also prevent us from seeing what lies beyond. The more we stay inside, the harder it becomes to step out. Consider the stories of high achievers. Oprah Winfrey faced rejection and hardship before becoming one of the most influential women in the world. Elon Musk took massive risks with Tesla and SpaceX, facing countless failures before achieving groundbreaking success. Every entrepreneur, artist, and innovator has faced self-doubt, setbacks, and discomfort on their journey. They did not succeed despite discomfort. They succeeded because of it. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, when everything feels safe and easy, you will be waiting forever. Growth requires you to move before you feel ready. The right time will never come. You create it by taking action despite fear and uncertainty. If you want to grow, you must learn to become comfortable with discomfort. This does not mean recklessly throwing yourself into situations beyond your capacity. It means intentionally and strategically pushing your limits so that discomfort becomes a natural part of your life. Start by identifying areas in your life where you feel stagnant. Ask yourself, where am I avoiding growth because it feels uncomfortable? What small steps can I take today to challenge myself? The goal is not to eliminate fear, but to act in spite of it. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, remind yourself that your brain is adapting, your mindset is expanding, and your future self is thanking you. Personal growth is not about reaching a final destination. It is an ongoing journey of transformation. The sooner you embrace the science behind it, the sooner you will unlock your true potential. Chapter 3. Facing Fear and Uncertainty. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions we experience. It is deeply rooted in our survival instincts, designed to keep us safe from danger. But in today's world, where most threats are not life-threatening, fear often becomes a misleading signal. Instead of protecting us, it holds us back, convincing us that stepping outside our comfort zone is dangerous when, in reality, it is the key to growth. The fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown can be paralyzing, making us believe that staying where we are is the safest option. But safety and fulfillment are not the same thing. A life without risk may feel comfortable, but is often empty of progress and excitement. Understanding fear is a natural but sometimes irrational response is crucial. When you feel anxious about taking a leap, whether it's starting a new job, pursuing a dream, or making a difficult decision, your mind is trying to protect you from discomfort. But discomfort is not the enemy. It is a sign that you are stretching, growing, and becoming something more. Fear does not mean stop. It means pay attention. It means you are about to enter a space where transformation happens. The way you interpret fear makes all the difference. Anxiety about the unknown is often mistaken for a warning sign when, in fact, it is a sign of opportunity. Instead of seeing fear as an obstacle, try to reframe it as a signal that you are on the edge of something meaningful. Every successful person, every great leader, every innovator has felt fear. What sets them apart is that they did not allow it to dictate their actions. They moved forward despite it. They understood that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. When you shift your mindset from fear means danger to fear means I'm growing, you take away its power over you. Courage and success are deeply connected. No one achieves greatness without stepping into uncertainty. Every time you face a fear and push through it, you gain confidence. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build by taking action. The more you challenge yourself, the stronger your belief in your own abilities becomes. Each small victory over fear creates momentum, making it easier to tackle bigger challenges in the future. This is how personal growth happens, not all at once, but step by step, with each act of bravery reinforcing the next. Practical ways to build confidence in the unknown start with taking small risks. You don't have to leap into the unknown without preparation, but you do need to take the first step. Start by exposing yourself to controlled discomfort. If you fear public speaking, begin by speaking up in small groups. If you fear change, introduce small adjustments to your routine. By doing this, you train your brain to handle uncertainty. Another powerful method is visualization. Picture yourself succeeding in the face of fear. See yourself thriving in unfamiliar situations. Your mind responds to imagined experiences almost as strongly as real ones, and by visualizing success, you make it feel more attainable. One of the greatest lessons in life is that fear never fully disappears. There will always be new challenges, new uncertainties, and new moments that make your heart race. But as you face them, fear loses its grip on you. You realize that beyond the fear lies a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. The unknown stops being a source of anxiety and becomes a space for possibility. You stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start asking, "What if I succeed?" That shift changes everything. Facing fear and uncertainty is not just about overcoming obstacles. It is about discovering what you are truly capable of. It is about breaking free from self-imposed limitations and stepping into the person you are meant to be. The path may not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Every time you face fear and push past it, you are rewriting your story, proving to yourself that you are braver than you ever imagined. And that is how true growth begins. Chapter 4. Developing a growth-oriented mindset. The way you think shapes the way you live. Every action you take, every challenge you face, and every goal you set is influenced by your mindset. If you believe you are stuck with the abilities and intelligence you were born with, you will resist change and avoid challenges. But if you see yourself as a work in progress, capable of learning, evolving, and adapting, you will embrace growth as a way of life. Developing a growth-oriented mindset is not just about being optimistic. It is about rewiring the way you see yourself and the world around you. It is about believing that your potential is not fixed. It expands with effort, learning, and resilience. The foundation of a growth mindset is understanding the difference between a fixed and a growth-oriented way of thinking. A fixed mindset is a belief that intelligence, talent, and abilities are static. People with a fixed mindset tend to avoid challenges. Fearing failure will expose their limitations. They stick to what they know, resist feedback, and give up easily when faced with setbacks. This mindset keeps them trapped in their comfort zones, preventing them from reaching their full potential. On the other hand, a growth mindset is a belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and effort. People with this mindset see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. They embrace learning, persist through difficulties, and view failures as lessons rather than defeats. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," they ask, "How can I learn to do this?" This simple shift in thinking can be the difference between stagnation and transformation. If you want to develop a growth-oriented mindset, you must cultivate a love for learning. True growth happens when you see learning as a lifelong journey rather than a temporary phase. Every new skill, experience, and challenge expands your mind and strengthens your ability to adapt. Learning should not be limited to classrooms or structured education. It is something you can integrate into your daily life. Read books that challenge your perspectives, engage in conversations that push you to think differently, and seek out new experiences that force you to stretch beyond what feels easy. Learning requires humility, the willingness to admit that you do not know everything. Many people resist growth because they fear looking inexperienced or making mistakes. But the truth is, no one starts as an expert. Every successful person has been a beginner at some point. The difference between those who grow and those who remain stagnant is their willingness to embrace the discomfort of learning. The more you expose yourself to new information, skills, and ideas, the more adaptable and capable you become. A significant part of developing a growth mindset is replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. We all have internal narratives that shape our actions and decisions. Some of these narratives push us forward, while others hold us back. If you have ever told yourself, "I'm not smart enough," I'm too old to change, or I will never be good at this, you are operating under limiting beliefs. These thoughts are not facts. They are self-imposed barriers that keep you from realizing your true potential. To break free from limiting beliefs, you must first become aware of them. Pay attention to the thoughts that surface when you face a challenge or try something new. Instead of accepting them as truth, challenge them. Ask yourself, is this belief helping me grow or is it holding me back? Reframe your self-talk with empowering alternatives. Instead of, I can't do this, tell yourself, I can learn how to do this. Instead of, I'm not talented enough, remind yourself, talent is developed through practice and effort. The way you speak to yourself matters. It determines whether you stay stuck or move forward. Building a growth-oriented mindset is not something that happens overnight. It is a daily practice that requires intentional effort. Small, consistent habits can rewire your brain to embrace growth as a natural part of life. One of the most effective habits is embracing challenges rather than avoiding them. When you encounter a difficult situation, instead of retreating, lean into it. Remind yourself that growth happens in discomfort. Every challenge you overcome makes you stronger, wiser, and more capable. Another powerful habit is seeking feedback. Many people fear criticism because they associate with failure. But feedback is one of the most valuable tools for growth. It provides insight into areas where you can improve and helps you refine your skills. Instead of taking feedback personally, see it as a roadmap for becoming better. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and push you to grow. Practicing gratitude is another essential habit for developing a growth mindset. When you focus on what you have accomplished rather than what you lack, you build confidence in your ability to grow. Celebrate small wins, acknowledge your progress, and recognize that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Growth is not about perfection. It is about progress. Each day that you make an effort to improve, you are succeeding. The most transformative habit you can develop is resilience. Growth is not a straight path. It is filled with setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. The key is to keep going despite these obstacles. When you fall, get back up. When you fail, learn from it. When you feel like giving up, remind yourself why you started. Resilience is what separates those who grow from those who stay stuck. It is the ability to keep moving forward, even when the journey gets tough. Developing a growth-oriented mindset is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. It changes the way you approach challenges, how you handle failure, and how you see your potential. When you believe that you are capable of growth, you open the door to endless possibilities. You stop fearing change and start embracing it. You stop doubting yourself and start believing in your ability to evolve. Growth is not something that happens to you. It is something you choose every single day. Chapter 5, Building Resilience Through Discomfort. Resilience is the ability to withstand adversity, recover from setbacks, and keep moving forward even when the path is uncertain. It is the quality that separates those who thrive from those who remain stuck in fear and self-doubt. When you step outside your comfort zone, resilience becomes your greatest ally. It is what allows you to push through discomfort, face challenges head-on, and continue progressing even when things do not go as planned. Without resilience, discomfort feels unbearable. With resilience, discomfort becomes a stepping stone to success. Thriving outside your comfort zone requires mental and emotional strength. Many people believe that confidence leads to success, but resilience is even more important. Confidence can waver in the face of failure, but resilience ensures that failure does not define you. The truth is, no one succeeds without setbacks. The most successful people in the world have faced rejection, failure, and disappointment, but they refuse to let those experiences break them. Instead, they learned from them, adjusted their approach, and kept moving forward. Resilience does not mean avoiding difficulty. It means embracing it as a necessary part of growth. Handling setbacks without losing momentum is an essential skill. When something does not go as expected, it is easy to feel discouraged, question your abilities, or even consider giving up. But setbacks are not signs that you should stop. They are lessons disguised as obstacles. Every failure holds valuable information. It teaches you what does not work, reveals areas for improvement, and helps you develop the strength to keep going. The key is to shift your perspective. Instead of seeing setbacks as proof that you are not capable, view them as proof that you are trying, learning, and evolving. The people who accomplish great things are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who refuse to let failure stop them. Turning failure into growth fuel is one of the most powerful mindset shifts you can make. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. Each time you fail, you gain insight, resilience, and experience that bring you closer to your goals. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not intelligence, talent, or luck. It is the ability to persist despite failure. If you view failure as an ending, it will be. But if you see it as a lesson, it becomes a catalyst for growth. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than they can count, but they kept going. They used failure as a guide, adjusted their approach, and eventually found the right path. Daily practices to strengthen emotional resilience are essential because resilience is not something you either have or do not have. It is something you build. One way to develop resilience is by embracing small discomforts daily. When you intentionally step into situations that challenge you, you train yourself to handle discomfort with greater ease. Another key practice is self-reflection. Taking time each day to reflect on your experiences, emotions, and challenges helps you understand your own patterns and build awareness of your strengths. Resilient people do not avoid their feelings. They acknowledge them, process them, and use them to move forward. Developing a strong support system is also crucial. Surrounding yourself with people who encourage you, believe in you, and push you to keep going makes it easier to handle setbacks and stay motivated. Building resilience through discomfort is not about becoming immune to struggle. It is about becoming strong enough to face it without fear. It is about learning to trust yourself even when the outcome is uncertain. Resilience allows you to step outside your comfort zone, take risks, and pursue growth with confidence. It reminds you that setbacks are temporary. Failure is a teacher, and challenges are opportunities in disguise. The more you push through discomfort, the stronger you become. Over time, what once felt impossible becomes second nature. The fears that once held you back lose their grip, and you realize that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. Resilience is not just about surviving difficulties. It is about thriving in the face of them, and that is the key to lasting success. Chapter 6. Setting Bold, Transformational Goals. Growth begins the moment you dare to set goals that challenge you. Ordinary goals, the ones that feel safe and comfortable, often keep you stuck in the same place. They may give you a sense of direction, but they rarely ignite passion or lead to significant breakthroughs. The problem with ordinary goals is that they do not stretch you beyond what you already know. They keep you within familiar territory, offering little room for expansion. If you want to grow, thrive, and succeed, you must set bold, transformational goals. Goals that make you uncomfortable, push your limits, and demand that you become more than you were yesterday. The biggest mistake people make when setting goals is aiming too low. They choose what feels realistic, practical, or easily achievable, believing that success lies in playing it safe. But the truth is, growth happens when you aim higher than what feels possible. Transformational goals challenge you to rise above your fears, doubts, and limitations. They force you to develop new skills, adopt new habits, and think in ways you never have before. They may seem intimidating at first, but they carry the potential to change your life in ways you never imagined. A powerful way to approach goal setting is by using the SMART framework: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. But when you are striving for bold, life-changing growth, you need to stretch beyond what feels immediately achievable. A SMART goal should not just be realistic. It should make you uncomfortable in a way that forces you to level up. For example, instead of setting a vague goal like, "I want to be healthier," define exactly what that means. A transformational version of that goal might be, "I will lose 30 pounds in 6 months by exercising 5 times a week and following a balanced diet." The clarity in your goal gives you direction and focus, and the challenge within ensures that you are pushing yourself to evolve. A crucial part of achieving big goals is understanding the power of micro-wins. Often, people get discouraged because they look at the size of their goal and feel overwhelmed. But every great transformation is built on small victories. When you celebrate the small wins along the way, you reinforce a belief that you are capable of achieving more. If your goal is to write a book, celebrate when you complete your first chapter. If your goal is to start a business, Acknowledge the progress you make with every new skill you learn. These micro wins keep your motivation high and create momentum, making it easier to keep going even when challenges arise. Tracking your progress without getting discouraged is one of the biggest challenges in goal setting. Many people abandon their goals the moment they feel they are not moving fast enough. They compare themselves to others, expect instant results, or get frustrated by setbacks. But progress is rarely linear. There will be moments when you move forward quickly and moments when you feel stuck. The key is to track your progress in a way that highlights growth rather than shortcomings. Instead of focusing on how far you still have to go, remind yourself of how far you have already come. Keep a journal, document your successes, and revisit your initial reasons for setting the goal. When you see your progress written down, it becomes easier to stay motivated and committed. Another effective way to stay encouraged is to reframe setbacks as learning opportunities. Every challenge you encounter on your journey is a lesson in disguise. Instead of seeing obstacles as proof that you are failing, view them as signs that you are growing. If you miss a workout, it does not mean you should give up on your health goal. If your business idea does not take off immediately, it does not mean you are not meant to be successful. Adjust, learn, and keep moving forward. Success is not about perfection. It is about persistence. The process of setting bold, transformational goals is about more than just achieving an outcome. It is about becoming the person who can achieve that outcome. When you commit to a goal that challenges you, you are also committing to personal growth. You are saying yes to discipline, resilience, and the willingness to push past your comfort zone. The true reward of setting and achieving big goals is not just the accomplishment itself, but the transformation that happens within you along the way. It is easy to dream about a better life, but real change happens when you turn those dreams into concrete goals and take consistent action. Do not let fear, self-doubt, or temporary setbacks stop you from striving for more. Set goals that excite and challenge you. Embrace the journey with all its ups and downs, and trust that every step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward becoming the best version of yourself. Chapter 7. Taking Action Despite Fear. Fear has an incredible way of keeping us stuck. It whispers doubts in our ears, convinces us that we're not ready, and builds walls between us and the life we truly want. But the most powerful truth about fear is that it loses its grip the moment we take action. Waiting until we feel ready is an illusion because readiness doesn't come first. Action does. Understanding the action cures fear principle is the first step in reclaiming control over your potential and breaking free from hesitation. The fear of stepping into the unknown is natural, but what often goes unnoticed is that fear and inaction feed each other. The longer we wait, the stronger our fears become. When we put off a difficult conversation, delay starting a new project, or hold back from chasing opportunity, our minds create exaggerated stories about the risks involved. These stories grow heavier with time, making it feel impossible to move forward. However, the moment we take a single step, no matter how small, the fear starts to dissolve. Action interrupts the cycle of overthinking and replaces uncertainty with momentum. Starting before you feel ready is one of the most valuable lessons in personal growth. Many people wait for the perfect moment, believing they need more knowledge, skills, or confidence before they begin. The reality is that confidence is not a prerequisite for action. It is a result of it. Every successful person has faced moments of doubt, but chose to move forward anyway. Growth happens when we step beyond what feels comfortable, even if we don't have all the answers yet. The truth is, you will never feel 100% ready, and if you wait for that feeling, you may never start at all. Taking small, daily steps is a secret to building unstoppable momentum. When a goal or challenge feels overwhelming, breaking it into smaller actions makes it manageable. If fear is telling you not to start, take the tiniest possible step. Send that email. Make that phone call. Write the first sentence. Progress is not about giant leaps. It is about consistent forward movement. Each small action builds confidence, which in turn makes the next step easier. Over time, what once seemed impossible becomes second nature. One of the biggest barriers to action is the paralysis of overthinking. The mind tends to dwell on worst-case scenarios, playing out every possible failure or rejection before anything has even happened. This endless mental loop prevents people from making decisions and keeps them stuck in the same place. The way to escape this trap is by shifting from excessive thinking to decisive doing. Rather than analyzing every detail, focus on what you can do right now. Clarity comes from engagement, not endless contemplation. Once you take action, you will gain the experience and perspective needed to adjust and improve along the way. Stepping beyond fear does not mean eliminating it entirely. It means refusing to let control your choices. Fear will always exist when you venture into new territory, but it does not have to dictate your actions. The people who achieve great things are not fearless. They are simply willing to act despite their fears. By recognizing that fear is a natural companion to growth, you can learn to coexist with it rather than be controlled by it. There will be moments when fear tells you to stop, to turn back, to wait for a better time. But if you choose action, even in the smallest way, you will prove to yourself that fear does not have the final say. Every step you take strengthens your resilience, builds your confidence, and expands your comfort zone. Success is not about waiting for the perfect conditions. It is about moving forward despite uncertainty. When you take action despite fear, you reclaim your power, unlock new opportunities, and create the life you truly deserve. Chapter 8. Cultivating Self-Discipline. Many people believe that motivation is the key to success. They wait for inspiration to strike, hoping that one day they will feel ready to take action. But the truth is, motivation is unreliable. It fluctuates, comes and goes, and often disappears when you need it the most. This is why so many dreams remain unfulfilled, because people rely on a fleeting feeling rather than a solid system of discipline. Self-discipline is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who only wish for change. It is the ability to take action even when you do not feel like it, to stay committed even when the excitement wears off, and keep pushing forward despite obstacles and self-doubt. The foundation of self-discipline lies in consistency. Progress is not about making giant leaps overnight. It is about showing up every single day, even when results are not immediately visible. A single workout does not make you fit, just as one day of focused work does not make you successful. But when these actions are repeated consistently over time, they create lasting change. Many people give up too soon because they do not see instant results. They expect transformation to be quick and effortless, but real growth requires patience and persistence. The secret to long-term success is not about having bursts of motivation, but about building habits that sustain your progress even when motivation fades. One of the biggest obstacles to self-discipline is procrastination. It is easy to put things off, convincing yourself that you will do them later. But later often turns into never. Procrastination is not just about being lazy. It is a defense mechanism against discomfort, fear, or self-doubt. Sometimes, people procrastinate because they are afraid of failing, while others delay tasks because they feel overwhelmed by their size. The best way to overcome procrastination is to break tasks into smaller, manageable steps. When you focus on just starting rather than finishing, the pressure decreases, and taking action becomes easier. Instead of thinking about writing an entire book, start with a single paragraph. Instead of planning a full workout, commit to just 10 minutes of movement. Once you begin, momentum naturally builds, making it easier to keep going. Self-doubt is another common enemy of discipline. Many people struggle with inner voices that tell them they are not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. These negative thoughts create hesitation and fear, making it difficult to take consistent action. The key to overcoming self-doubt is to reframe your thoughts and focus on progress rather than perfection. Instead of thinking, "I am not good at this," tell yourself, "I am getting better every day." Instead of believing, "I am not ready," remind yourself, growth happens through action, not waiting. When you train your mind to replace self-doubt with self-belief, discipline becomes easier because you no longer let fear hold you back. Another powerful tool in cultivating self-discipline is accountability. When you hold yourself accountable, you are less likely to give up when things get difficult. One way to create accountability is to set clear goals and track your progress. Keeping a journal, using a planner, or setting deadlines can help you stay on track. However, personal accountability is not always enough. Sometimes, having an external support system makes all the difference. Sharing your goals with a trusted friend, mentor, or coach can provide the extra push you need to stay consistent. When someone else is aware of your commitments, you are more likely to follow through because you do not want to disappoint them or yourself. Building self-discipline is not about being perfect. It is about making progress. There will be days when you slip up, feel unmotivated, or struggle to stay on track. But discipline is not about never failing. It is about getting back up every time you do. The more you practice self-discipline, the easier it becomes. Over time, the actions that once felt difficult will turn into habits, and the habits will turn into a lifestyle. The rewards of self-discipline are not just in achieving goals, but in becoming the kind of person who can achieve them. It is the key to unlocking your full potential, stepping out of your comfort zone, and creating the life you truly desire. Chapter 9. Expanding your social comfort zone. Human connection is one of the most powerful forces in personal growth, yet stepping beyond your social comfort zone can feel intimidating. The idea of meeting new people, engaging in meaningful conversations, or putting yourself in unfamiliar social situations can bring discomfort. However, it is precisely in these moments of discomfort that the greatest personal transformations occur. Expanding your social comfort zone isn't just about making new friends. It's about opening doors to new opportunities, broadening your perspectives, and growing into a more confident and resilient person. The power of meeting new people cannot be underestimated. Every relationship has a potential to change your life in ways you might never anticipate. When you interact with different people, you expose yourself to new ideas, cultures, and ways of thinking. These interactions challenge your beliefs and encourage you to grow beyond the limitations of your current perspective. By surrounding yourself with diverse individuals, you cultivate a mindset that is adaptable, open-minded, and rich with new experiences. The more you step out and engage with others, the more you expand your personal and professional possibilities. However, for many people, social anxiety and the fear of rejection can make stepping into new social spaces a daunting task. The mind often conjures up worst-case scenarios. What if people don't like me? What if I say something embarrassing? What if I don't fit in? These fears are normal, but they are also deceptive. Social anxiety thrives on avoidance. The more you avoid unfamiliar social settings, the more those fears grow. The key to overcoming social anxiety is exposure. The more you engage with new people, the more you realize that rejection is rarely as devastating as your mind makes it out to be. In fact, many people are more welcoming and understanding than we give them credit for. Even if a conversation doesn't go as planned, it is simply one interaction in a lifetime of opportunities. Meaningful conversations are a gateway to deeper connections and new opportunities. A single conversation has the potential to inspire, educate, and open new doors. Engaging in genuine dialogue with others allows you to exchange valuable insights and experiences. It also strengthens your ability to listen actively, empathize, and connect on a deeper level. Rather than focusing on saying the perfect thing, shift your attention to being present and interested in the other person. Ask open-ended questions. Share your thoughts authentically, and let the conversation unfold naturally. When you prioritize connection over perfection, your social experiences become more fulfilling and enriching. Building a network that challenges and inspires you is a crucial aspect of personal development. The people you surround yourself with influence your mindset, motivation, and opportunities for growth. If you only interact with those who reinforce your current beliefs and habits, you may find yourself stuck in a cycle of stagnation. Instead, seek out individuals who challenge you to think differently, push you to grow, and support your aspirations. A strong network is not just about numbers. It's about the quality of relationships you cultivate. Find mentors, peers, and friends who encourage you to be the best version of yourself. In doing so, you create an environment where growth becomes a natural and continuous process. Expanding your social comfort zone requires courage, but it also brings immense rewards. Each time you push past your initial discomfort, you gain confidence in your ability to navigate social interactions. The key is to take small, consistent steps. Attend events, join groups that align with your interests, start conversations with new people, and embrace the discomfort as part of the journey. Over time, what once felt intimidating will become second nature. The more you step into new social experiences, the more comfortable you become with uncertainty and the unknown. At its core, personal growth is about embracing change, and expanding your social comfort zone is an essential part of that journey. Every conversation, every new connection, and every step outside your comfort zone contributes to a more enriched and fulfilling life. The world is full of people who can inspire, support, and challenge you to grow. The question is, are you willing to take the first step? Chapter 10. Embracing Failure as a Learning Tool. Failure is often seen as a dreaded word, something to be avoided at all costs. From a young age, we are conditioned to fear failure, to associate with shame, disappointment, and incompetence. But what if failure isn't the enemy? What if it is actually one of the most powerful tools for growth and transformation? The truth is, failure is not the end of the road. It is a stepping stone that can lead us to greater success, if only we learn to embrace it with the right mindset. Highly successful individuals across various fields have one thing in common. They failed before they succeeded. Their stories serve as proof that failure is not a permanent state, but rather a phase of learning and refinement. Take Thomas Edison, for example, who famously failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his repeated failures, he replied that he had not failed. He had simply found thousands of ways that didn't work. His persistence and ability to view failure as feedback led to one of the greatest inventions in history. Similarly, Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first television job and told she wasn't fit for TV. Instead of allowing that setback to define her, she used it as fuel to prove her worth, ultimately becoming one of the most influential media moguls in the world. If failure is such a natural and necessary part of success, why do so many people fear it? The answer lies in how we interpret failure. Many people see it as a reflection of their worth or abilities. When they stumble, they believe they are not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. This self-defeating mindset traps them in a cycle of self-doubt and prevents them from taking the risks necessary for growth. However, failure itself is neutral. It is simply an event, a result of an attempt. What gives it power is the meaning we attach to it. When we learn to separate our self-worth from our mistakes, we free ourselves to grow, experiment, and ultimately succeed. Analyzing failure is an essential skill that allows us to extract valuable lessons without falling into the trap of self-blame. The first step is to view failure as data. Instead of internalizing it as a personal flaw, consider it as information that guides your next steps. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What factors contributed to the outcome? What can be improved? This kind of reflection turns failure into a constructive experience rather than a source of guilt. At the same time, it is important to practice self-compassion when dealing with failure. Many people are their own worst critics, replaying mistakes in their minds and berating themselves for not getting things right. However, harsh self-judgment only leads to discouragement and paralysis. Instead, treating yourself with kindness and understanding can help you move forward with a clear and determined mind. Imagine a close friend came to you feeling defeated after failing at something important. Would you criticize them harshly, or would you encourage them to keep trying? The same approach should apply to yourself. The key to transforming failure into growth lies in taking actionable steps based on what you have learned. Reflection without action is meaningless. Once you have identified the lessons within your setbacks, the next step is to adjust your approach. If a strategy didn't work, modify it. If a skill was lacking, develop it. If an opportunity was missed, prepare better for the next one. Failure should never be a stopping point, but a checkpoint that helps refine your journey. One of the most powerful ways to shift your perspective on failure is to cultivate a growth mindset. A fixed mindset sees failure as a reflection of inherent limitations, while a growth mindset sees it as an opportunity to improve. When you adopt the belief that abilities can be developed through effort, practice, and resilience, failure loses its sting. Instead of being something to fear, it becomes something to embrace, a necessary and valuable part of the learning process. To develop a mindset that welcomes failure as a learning tool, start by reframing setbacks as progress markers rather than roadblocks. Each time you fail, remind yourself that you are gaining experience, refining your approach, and getting closer to your goal. Every great success story is built on a foundation of past failures, and yours will be no different. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is not the absence of failure, but the willingness to keep moving forward despite it. Chapter 11. The Role of Habits in Breaking Comfort Zones. Our lives are built on habits, whether we realize it or not. From the moment we wake up to the time we go to bed, our actions are shaped by routines that either keep us safe and stagnant or push us forward into growth. When it comes to stepping out of your comfort zone, habits play a crucial role. They can either reinforce your fears and limitations or empower you to expand beyond them. If you want to break free from what is familiar and embrace real transformation, you must learn how to reshape your daily routines with purpose. Habits are the foundation of personal growth because they dictate the small actions we take every day. Whether it's how we respond to challenges, interact with new experiences, or pursue our goals, everything comes down to repeated behaviors. The science of habit formation explains that our brains crave efficiency. When we repeat an action, the brain creates neural pathways to make automatic. This is helpful for tasks like brushing our teeth or driving a car, but can also trap us in patterns of comfort that prevent growth. If we always choose what is easy and predictable, we strengthen the habit of avoiding discomfort. Breaking free from this requires consciously replacing comfort-driven habits with growth-driven ones. To understand how habits influence personal development, it's important to recognize the habit loop: cue, routine, and reward. A cue is a trigger that prompts an action. The routine is the behavior itself, and the reward is the benefit we gain. For example, if you feel nervous before speaking in public, cue, you might avoid the situation entirely, routine, and experience relief, reward. This reinforces the habit of avoiding discomfort. However, if you recognize the cue and replace the routine with a growth-oriented action, such as practicing public speaking despite the nerves, you create a new reward: confidence. The key to breaking out of a comfort zone is replacing limiting habits with empowering ones. One of the most effective ways to change habits is through a structured approach like the 30-day challenge method. Research shows that consistent repetition is essential in forming new behaviors. When you commit to doing something outside your comfort zone for 30 days, you not only reshape your routines but also rewire your mindset. This method works because it forces you to push past initial discomfort until a new habit becomes part of your identity. Whether it's waking up earlier, trying a new activity, or initiating conversations with strangers, the key is consistency. Each day, your brain adapts, making the behavior feel more natural over time. The real challenge in replacing old habits is dealing with resistance. The mind naturally gravitates toward what is safe and predictable, so stepping into growth requires self-awareness and persistence. When fear or doubt creeps in, remind yourself of the long-term benefits. Discomfort is temporary, but the rewards of growth last a lifetime. Small, repeated actions create massive change over time, and habits are the vehicle that drives this transformation. By consciously designing your habits, you take control of your personal development. Every time you replace a comfort-driven habit with a growth-driven one, you redefine what is possible for yourself. The key to success lies in daily commitment, self-reflection, and a willingness to embrace change. Growth does not happen overnight, but with the right habits, it becomes an inevitable part of your journey. Chapter 12. Adapting to Change with Ease. Change is one of the few constants in life, yet it remains one of the most difficult things to embrace. It challenges the familiar, disrupts routines, and often introduces uncertainty that can feel overwhelming. The natural response to change is resistance, but resisting change does not stop it from happening. It only makes the transition harder. Learning to adapt to change with ease is a crucial skill for personal growth and long-term success. The more we train ourselves to embrace change, the more we open doors to opportunities that would otherwise remain out of reach. Many people associate change with discomfort, and understandably so. The human brain is wired to seek stability and predictability because these elements provide a sense of safety. Any deviation from the known can trigger stress or fear. However, despite its challenges, change is a necessary and inevitable part of life. Growth does not happen within the confines of comfort. Every breakthrough, whether in career, relationships, or personal development, stems from a moment of transformation that required adaptation. Those who refuse to change often find themselves stuck in repetitive cycles, while those who learn to navigate change see themselves evolving in ways they never imagined. To thrive in uncertain situations, we must first shift our mindset. Most people view uncertainty as something to fear, when in reality, it is an open field of possibility. Instead of asking, "What if everything goes wrong?" try asking, "What if this is the best thing that could ever happen to me?" Reframing the way we think about uncertainty can significantly reduce anxiety and increase confidence in our ability to handle new challenges. A person who sees change as a threat will always feel powerless, but someone who sees it as a stepping stone to something better will continuously find ways to grow. One of the best ways to train yourself to thrive in uncertain situations is to start small. Regularly exposing yourself to minor changes builds resilience. Take a different route to work, try a new hobby, or engage in a conversation with someone outside your usual social circle. These seemingly insignificant acts train your brain to accept new experiences without feeling overwhelmed. The more you practice stepping into unfamiliar territory, the easier it becomes to handle major life transitions. Rewiring your mind to see change as an opportunity requires conscious effort. Often, our perception of change is shaped by past experiences. If we have faced difficulties in times of transition, we might assume that all change leads to hardship. However, this is not the truth. Many of life's greatest blessings come from changes that initially seemed intimidating. Every success story is built on moments of transformation. The key is to recognize that change does not happen to you. It happens for you. Instead of resisting it, approach it with curiosity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? When you shift from a mindset of fear to one of exploration, change becomes less a burden and more of an adventure. One of the most powerful ways to become more adaptable is to develop a mindset of flexibility. People who adapt well to change understand that life does not always go according to plan, and that is okay. Rather than dwelling on what was supposed to happen, they focus on what can be done moving forward. This ability to pivot and adjust without excessive stress is what separates those who struggle with change from those who thrive in it. Another practical step toward adaptability is embracing failure as a learning experience. Many fear change because they associate it with potential failure. However, failure is often a crucial part of growth. When things do not go as expected, there is always a lesson to be learned. By viewing setbacks as opportunities to improve, you remove the fear associated with change and replace it with resilience. Additionally, surrounding yourself with adaptable individuals can make a tremendous difference. People who have a positive relationship with change can serve as role models, demonstrating that transformation is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Their attitudes and experiences can inspire you to adopt a similar approach. Engage in conversations with those who have navigated significant changes successfully. Learn from their strategies and insights, and apply them in your own life. Another key aspect of adaptability is emotional regulation. Change can trigger a wide range of emotions, from excitement to anxiety. Learning to manage these emotions effectively can make transitions much smoother. Practices such as deep breathing, mindfulness, and self-reflection can help you stay centered even in the midst of uncertainty. When you take control of your emotional responses, you gain a greater sense of power over how you experience change. Building adaptability is an ongoing process, but it is one that yields lifelong benefits. The more you train yourself to embrace change, the more confident and capable you become in facing life's challenges. Instead of dreading uncertainty, learn to welcome it. Each new experience brings with it the possibility of growth, transformation, and success. By seeing change as an opportunity rather than a threat, you empower yourself to step into the unknown with courage and resilience. Life will always be unpredictable, but your ability to adapt will determine how far you go. Chapter 13, Mastering the Art of Taking Risks. Taking risks is often portrayed as something reckless, an action only the fearless or the foolish engage in. But the truth is, risk-taking is a fundamental part of personal growth and success. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, and every major transformation stems from a moment when someone decided to step into the unknown despite their fears. Mastering the art of taking risks is not about being reckless. It's about learning how to evaluate opportunities, push past fear, and take calculated steps that lead to growth and new possibilities. Not all risks are created equal. There's a fine line between smart risks and reckless ones, And the key is understanding the difference. Smart risks involve a level of preparation, research, and self-awareness. They push you beyond your comfort zone, but are based on logical reasoning, careful consideration, and a strong sense of purpose. Reckless risks, on the other hand, are often driven by impulse, emotion, or desire for instant gratification. They lack foresight and can lead to unnecessary failures and setbacks. Learning how to differentiate between the two ensures that your journey outside the comfort zone is guided by wisdom rather than blind leaps of faith. Developing a risk-taking mindset doesn't happen overnight. Like a muscle, it needs to be exercised regularly through small, manageable challenges. Taking minor risks, whether it's speaking up at a meeting, trying a new hobby, or reaching out to someone you admire, gradually builds confidence. Each small success reinforces the belief that you can handle uncertainty. Over time, these small actions accumulate, making it easier to take on larger challenges. By stretching yourself in incremental steps, you create a mindset that sees risk as an opportunity rather than a threat. The relationship between risk and reward is undeniable. The greatest achievements in life often require stepping beyond what is safe and familiar. Think about entrepreneurs who launch new businesses, athletes who push their physical limits, or artists who put their work into the world despite the fear of criticism. Their successes didn't come from playing it safe. They emerged from a willingness to embrace uncertainty and take a chance. The discomfort that comes with risk is often the price of entry for growth, innovation, and meaningful achievements. Real-life stories serve as powerful examples of how taking risks can lead to extraordinary success. Consider Steve Jobs, who risked everything to build Apple into one of the most innovative companies in the world. Or Oprah Winfrey, who stepped into the unknown when she launched her own network despite the possibility of failure. Their stories, like so many others, highlight a common truth. Success belongs to those who are willing to bet on themselves, even when the outcome is uncertain. They didn't take risks blindly. They took them with intention, resilience, and an understanding that growth often comes through challenge. Stepping outside your comfort zone and embracing risk is not about eliminating fear. It's about acting despite it. Fear is a natural part of the process, but it doesn't have to be a barrier. With practice, patience, and a willingness to take small, calculated steps, anyone can develop the confidence to face uncertainty and create a life filled with opportunities and success. The key is to recognize that every risk, no matter how small, is a stepping stone to a future beyond what you once believed was possible. Chapter 14. Staying out of the comfort zone for life. The journey of personal growth is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong commitment to staying outside your comfort zone. The excitement of breaking free from old patterns often fades when the challenge is over, and many people find themselves slipping back into familiarity. Avoiding this regression requires awareness, intentionality, and a mindset that embraces continuous progress rather than temporary change. The human mind is wired for comfort and predictability, but true growth happens when you resist the temptation to settle back into old habits. One of the main reasons people return to their comfort zones is the illusion of completion. When a goal is achieved, whether it's a career milestone, a fitness target, or a personal breakthrough, there is often a sense of satisfaction that leads to relaxation. While celebrating progress is essential, it is equally important to remember that growth has no final destination. The key is to view every accomplishment as a stepping stone rather than a conclusion. By recognizing that learning and self-improvement are lifelong processes, you cultivate a mindset that constantly seeks new challenges instead of resting on past achievements. Continual learning is a backbone of long-term personal growth. The world is constantly evolving, and those who remain stagnant will eventually fall behind. Expanding knowledge and skills is not just about career advancement. It is about staying engaged, curious, and adaptable. Reading books, attending workshops, seeking mentorship, and exploring new perspectives allow you to keep growing. Learning does not have to be formal. It can be as simple as taking on a new hobby, learning a different language, or diving into a topic that interests you. When learning becomes a habit, the brain stays active, and the drive to step beyond your comfort zone becomes second nature. Seeking new challenges regularly is another crucial factor in avoiding complacency. Once a goal is reached, it is tempting to settle into a routine, but true fulfillment comes from setting new objectives that push you further. Growth happens at the edge of discomfort. And the more you expose yourself to new situations, the more resilient and adaptable you become. Challenges do not have to be grand or intimidating. Even small changes, such as trying new experiences, taking on different responsibilities, or engaging with unfamiliar perspectives, can keep you on a path of continuous improvement. Embracing uncertainty and discomfort as natural parts of the journey ensures that you're always moving forward rather than staying stuck in the past. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in sustaining personal development. Once you start growing, maintaining that energy becomes essential. People often struggle with consistency because motivation fluctuates, but discipline and commitment keep progress alive. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, setting personal benchmarks, and tracking small wins can keep you accountable. Having community or mentor that encourages growth ensures that you do not lose sight of your goals. Regular reflection on how far you've come and what areas still need improvement keeps your personal evolution in motion. The fear of failure often tempts people to return to comfort. Challenges bring risks, and setbacks are inevitable. However, a shift in perspective can turn failures into lessons rather than obstacles. When you see every challenge as an opportunity to grow, failures become stepping stones rather than reasons to retreat. Every time you face a difficult situation, instead of asking, "What if I fail?" reframe the question to, "What will I learn?" This mindset shift keeps you forward-focused rather than dwelling on past fears or setbacks. Long-term growth also requires self-awareness and regular self-checks. It is easy to fall into autopilot mode, where routines become mindless repetitions rather than intentional actions. Periodically assessing your progress, questioning whether you are still pushing your boundaries, and adjusting your strategies accordingly help in maintaining a growth-oriented mindset. Journaling, meditation, and honest self-reflection are excellent tools to ensure you are actively pursuing progress rather than falling into stagnation. Comfort zones can be tricky because they often disguise themselves as stability. While stability is not inherently bad, it should never come at the cost of growth. The goal is to find a balance between appreciating the present while also striving for improvement. Life is unpredictable, and those who train themselves to embrace change rather than resist it are the ones who thrive in the long run. If you view every stage of life as an opportunity for expansion, you will never feel trapped in a fixed mindset. At the core of staying out of the comfort zone for life is the commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. Growth does not mean constantly chasing after success or feeling restless, but rather developing an approach to life that welcomes learning, challenges, and progress. The best way to honor your journey is to keep evolving, adapting, and seeking new horizons. The comfort zone may always try to pull you back, but once you have experienced the power of growth, you will know that true fulfillment lies in continually pushing forward. Chapter 15, Designing a Life of Growth, Thriving in Success. The journey of stepping out of your comfort zone is not a one-time event, but a lifelong commitment to growth. Every new challenge you face, every risk you take, and every lesson you learn shapes the person you are becoming. The key to sustaining this momentum is designing a life that prioritizes continuous learning, resilience, and self-improvement. True success is not about reaching a final destination. It's about evolving daily and embracing the process of becoming your best self. Success does not happen by accident. It is the result of intentional actions taken over time. To build a life that fosters growth and fulfillment, you need a roadmap, a clear vision of where you want to go and the steps required to get there. Start by defining what growth means to you. Is it advancing in your career, improving your relationships, strengthening your mindset? Once you have a clear understanding, set specific, measurable goals that align with your vision. A personal growth roadmap is not rigid. Life is unpredictable, and you must be willing to adapt and refine your plans along the way. Keep your goals challenging yet realistic, ensuring they push you beyond your comfort zone without overwhelming you. Break them into smaller milestones to track progress and celebrate achievements. This not only keeps you motivated, but also builds the confidence to tackle bigger challenges. Surrounding yourself with the right influences is equally important. Seek mentors, books, and experiences that challenge your perspectives and inspire new ideas. When you expose yourself to an environment of learning and self-improvement, growth becomes a natural part of your daily life. Success is built on consistency. The habits you cultivate every day determine the trajectory of your growth. Small, intentional actions performed consistently lead to profound changes over time. Begin by identifying the habits that support your growth and align with your vision. These could include reading for 20 minutes daily, practicing gratitude, exercising, networking with people who inspire you, or reflecting on your progress. Weekly reflection is a powerful tool for continuous improvement. At the end of each week, evaluate what went well and what could be improved. Ask yourself, what did I learn this week? Did I push myself beyond my comfort zone? What actions can I take to improve next week? By developing this habit, you ensure that you are always growing rather than staying stagnant. Another effective strategy is setting a weekly challenge. Whether it's trying something new, speaking up at a meeting, or initiating a difficult conversation, these small challenges stretch you beyond your limits and build the resilience needed to handle bigger obstacles in the future. Many people associate happiness with comfort, but real fulfillment comes from progress. When you actively pursue growth, you experience a sense of purpose and excitement. The process of learning, achieving, and overcoming challenges leads to lasting satisfaction that a life of routine and predictability cannot offer. A growth-oriented life fosters resilience, which is essential for navigating setbacks. Instead of fearing failure, you begin to see challenges as opportunities for learning. When you adopt this mindset, even difficulties become a source of motivation rather than discouragement. You develop the confidence to take risks, knowing that every step, whether forward or backward, is contributing to your evolution. Moreover, personal growth enhances relationships. When you work on yourself, you naturally become a better friend, partner, and colleague. Your ability to communicate, empathize, and inspire others improves, leading to deeper and more meaningful connections. The more you invest in yourself, the more value you bring to the people around you. You've come a long way in understanding the power of stepping out of your comfort zone. Now it's time to take action. Knowledge without application is meaningless, and growth requires movement. Start by committing to one small action today that challenges you. It could be reaching out to someone new, applying for an opportunity, or even speaking up in a situation where you'd normally stay silent. Remind yourself that growth is not a straight path. There will be moments of doubt, failure, and discomfort. Embrace them as part of the process. The more you push yourself, the more resilient and confident you will become. Keep learning, keep challenging yourself, and never settle for a life of comfort when a life of fulfillment and success is within your reach. Your journey does not end here. It is only the beginning of a lifelong adventure of growth, thriving, and success. Stay committed, stay courageous, and watch as you transform into the person you are meant to be. Conclusion: your new life begins now. Your journey of stepping out of your comfort zone has been nothing short of transformative. You have navigated through the discomfort of change, broken through barriers of self-doubt, and pushed yourself beyond limits you once thought were unbreakable. As you stand at this turning point, looking back at the path you've traveled, you should recognize just how far you've come. The person you were when you started this journey is no longer the same. You have evolved, grown, and reshaped your mindset in ways that will serve you for a lifetime. Growth is not about a single moment of courage. It's about the consistent choices you make every day. Every time you took a step beyond what was familiar, you proved to yourself that fear does not define you. You learned that failure is not an endpoint, but a stepping stone to something greater. You have embraced challenges, cultivated resilience, and developed a mindset that thrives on learning and adaptation. Now, as you stand here at the conclusion of this book, the real question is, what's next? The insights you've gained through this journey are not meant to be stored away like forgotten lessons in an old notebook. They are tools meant to be used every single day. You now understand the importance of discomfort in fostering growth. You have discovered the power of self-discipline, the value of persistence, and the magic of embracing failure as a teacher rather than an enemy. You have learned that the key to success is not in waiting for the perfect moment, but in taking bold action despite uncertainty. But knowledge alone is not enough. It is your commitment to applying these lessons that will determine the life you build from here. The real transformation happens when you take what you've learned and implement it in the face of resistance. Life will not always be easy. There will be moments when old habits creep back in, when fear whispers doubts into your mind, and when comfort calls you back to safety. But now you have the tools to fight back. You have the ability to recognize when you are slipping and the strength to push yourself forward once again. The greatest challenge from here is not simply avoiding your comfort zone, but staying committed to growth, no matter where life takes you. Growth is not a destination. It is a way of living. It is a decision to wake up each day and choose progress over stagnation. It is a willingness to keep learning, keep taking risks, and keep striving for something greater. The world belongs to those who are willing to keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles in their way. You are more capable than you have ever believed. You have the strength to create the life you want, to build the future you dream of, and to become the person you have always envisioned. But none of that will happen if you stop now. The only thing standing between you and the extraordinary life that awaits is the decision to keep going. So commit to it. Commit to taking action, no matter how small. Commit to never settling for less than you are capable of. Commit to becoming the person who refuses to let fear dictate their path. This is not the end of your journey. It is only the beginning. The world is waiting for you to show up, to step forward, and to live a life that is bold, fearless, and full of purpose. So go ahead, embrace the unknown, chase your dreams, and never stop pushing beyond your limits. Your new life begins now. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned with us for more life-changing audiobooks.